In a barren desert between the Andes Mountains and the Pacific Ocean lies a wonder of the ancient world. Since the 19th century, archaeologists have wondered how old it was and what purpose it served. Some theorized the 13 stone towers set on a ridge served as a lunar calendar. But it was Peruvian archaeologist Ivan Gessi who suggested it was the position of the sun, rather than the moon, that the towers were marking.
This is a solar calendar. It may have had some lunar elements that we need to investigate further, but we are certain that the position of the towers on this horizon clearly coincides with the passage of the sun from fixed observation points along the year.
The 2,300-year-old ruin, which lies in a desert valley in northern Peru, was one of 13 new global sites awarded UNESCO World Heritage status this year. The 13 stone towers, built between 250 and 200 BCE, show a sophisticated understanding of astronomy, says Gessi.
For a society with no known writing, with nothing to keep track of in terms of clay tablets or paper or papyrus, it is extremely precise.
Archaeologists believe that the astronomer priests, part of the elite in this ancient society, would have stood at this exact point to watch the sun rise over the 13 towers to calculate the precise time of year to within 1 or 2 days. Possessing a simple geometric beauty, it works not unlike a giant sundial, marking the time of year from the position of the sun over or between the towers. Chankillo is Peru's 13th World Heritage Site and the third to be awarded the status this century.
Chankillo, as opposed to the other examples of ancient observatories, marks dates twice a day, every day, for the entire solar year. It is the only horizon calendar that we know of that is complete, that functions every single day. And that element, that attribute alone, that element, clearly rises it up to the World Heritage status.
Archaeologists believe the site was likely abandoned in the early 1st century CE and was largely forgotten until the 19th century. No human remains have been found at the ruins, and little is known about the society which would have lived and worshipped here.
We need to conceive of Chankillo as something that serves an even higher purpose. And when you look at the integrity of the site, not just at the solar observatory, you realize that the entire place is a ceremonial center clearly devoted to the cult of the sun.
Here, more than 2 millennia ago, this ancient society built a temple fortress. Today, archaeologists and architects work to restore it to its former glory.
The idea is to try to make the architecture comprehensible. Undoubtedly, we won't get to the levels that they had. For example, walls, which were 6 meters high. But at least if we can rebuild or restore it to a certain level, people can understand and see what it would have looked like.
The rebuilding uses historically accurate materials, stones from the site itself and mortar made from local river mud mixed with water. They have 3D mapped the restored sites as they would have looked in their prime. This windswept desert plain looking west is where Gessi believes people would have gathered to watch the sundown over the towers some 2,000 years ago. Dan Collyns, CGTN at Chankillo, Peru.